On this Feast of the Holy Family, I was reminded of a silent retreat I went on last year, right before I was ordained a deacon. It was an 8-day silent retreat in Omaha, Nebraska, and it was at a place called the Nazareth house. So they were trying to provide an experience of what it would be like to be with the Holy Family. So lots of images of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And the retreat director, another priest, Father Paul Gu, he told me that this man's a Jedi. He's like, this man can read your mind. And so prepare for something special. So I got there, and it was like first time of spiritual direction with him. I thought, okay, he can read my mind, so might as well just tell him everything, you know? So I'm just like complaining about life for like 10 minutes. And then he just looked at me, and with like these piercing eyes, he says, "Richard, you have not met your own goodness." He said, "Richard, you have not met your own goodness." And I was just, for some reason, I was just like cut to the heart. It was like something, like he exposed something inside of me. "Richard, you have not met your own goodness." I was just like sitting in front of this guy, like speechless, like, I don't know, I have nothing to say. And then he said this question, I'll never forget, and it was so confusing. He said, "Did you know that there were no mirrors in the Holy Family's home in Nazareth? Did you know that there were no mirrors in the Holy Family's home in Nazareth?" So, okay, now you gotta explain. So obviously, historically, we know like a poor family 2,000 years ago wouldn't have any mirrors, but there's a deeper meaning than that. Okay, so think about it. Jesus growing up, he had no mirrors in Nazareth. So he received all of his value and identity and dignity from how Mary and Joseph looked at him. Like, he never looked in a mirror. He received his value from how Mary and Joseph looked at him. So the question would be, how did Mary and Joseph look at Jesus? And Father Rafferty got me to pray about this. And you could just imagine, like, Joseph being with Jesus in the carpenter shop, just being fully present to his son, just like delighting in him, trying to make little things, little wooden trinkets or something, and just being like, just rejoicing in the gift of his son. Just this look of like, just cherishing the gift of his son. You can think of Mary, like many people are reminded of the Passion of the Christ, when there's that beautiful scene of Jesus making that high table, and Mary and Jesus having this conversation, and just this pure joy between Mary and Jesus. So Mary must have just looked at Jesus, with such wonder and love, just total care, fully present to her son. And for me, it was very powerful to reflect upon this. And so for the rest of the retreat, Father Rafferty, for 8 days of silence, Father Rafferty got me to visualize myself with the Holy Family in Nazareth and just stop looking at myself and start looking at how Jesus, Mary, and Joseph would look at me. And so there were all these images of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph throughout the house. And I just would close my eyes and just visualize myself like Jesus, Mary, or Joseph just looking at me with like joy. And it was really, it was so transformative for my life. He summarized it in one way. There's this great quote. He said, "Joy is looking at God, and sadness is looking at yourself." Joy is looking at God, and sadness is looking at yourself. And I realized this with like mirrors. Okay, so a good question would be like, what are the mirrors that we have in our life? What are the things that we look to find our identity, our value, our worth? things we look to try to discover our goodness. What are those in our life? They might be standards that our parents have set for us, to be the model student, to have like perfect grades, or to always be, for me in golf, it was to always be at my A game in golf. That was the mirror that I constantly looked towards to discover, to try to find my own goodness. Or it might be yourself. Like, it might actually be a mirror that you look at all the time, feeling like any time you look in a mirror, you have to be looking good. Or it could be like Instagram. Like, every picture that comes out, that's your mirror. Like, enough people have to affirm you by giving you enough likes, hearts, whatever it might be, so that you feel like your goodness is met. But it always leads to sadness when those are the mirrors that we look to. So we have a lot of mirrors, and whenever we create these mirrors, it's like if I'm looking at you and all of a sudden I put a mirror up, I can't see you anymore. I can't see you anymore if I just have a mirror right in front of my face. And so that's the same thing with God. If we have these mirrors in front of our face, whatever they may be, we prevent ourselves from actually seeing how God looks upon us. So we have to take down these mirrors in our lives. And we have to receive our identity, our value, our dignity from how God looks upon us. So I actually did this in the seminary. We have a mirror in our rooms, and I put this huge picture of Jesus on my mirror. So like I would have to kind of almost like peek on the side of the mirror to like see myself when I'm like trying to shave, because we had to shave every day in seminary. It's part of the reason why I grew a big beard when I first came here, and just out of rebellion, seminary days. And that was just so transformative, like the ability to just close your eyes and to see Jesus, Mary, or Joseph just looking at you with joy. Like, looking at you like, I love you. Like, not for anything you do, but just for who you are. I just love you. You can't earn that. There's nothing you can do to earn the Holy Family's love. Often our lives can be like, picture yourself like living in a house, and across the street is this model family, this perfect family, and you just desire, I wish I could just be with that family. And then one day they knock on the door, and just picture Joseph holding the Christ child with Mary, and they're like, do you want to live with us? I mean, that's the invitation today. Do you want to live with the Holy Family? Like, do you actually want to receive all your goodness and identity and value from them? Like, sign me up. That sounds way better than trying to figure it out myself. You got the unholy family of me, myself, and I. I mean, that's a pretty sad situation. Or you have the Holy Family of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Like, this isn't just like a good family. This is a perfect family. It's inviting each one of us. And it's just as simple as closing your eyes and picturing them looking at you with joy. Like, these are real people right now who are just like, you're my beloved son, with whom I'm well pleased. Like, to receive all of your identity and value and worth from them, then it transforms your life. Then you can actually go out to others in your family and look upon them with joy, to be fully present at the dinner table with another family member and just look upon them like, I'm fully present. Like, you have so much value and worth. I love you. Like, that's transformative. So when we receive all of this, first, from the Holy Family, then we can transform our families into holy families. You can't do it on your own. You have to receive it first. You receive the gift, and then you give the gift. So that's the invitation. Often in prayer, people think, how do I start prayer? Just close your eyes, look at Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, just with this huge smile looking upon you. And actually, the picture might not make sense, but this is the Shroud of Turin. And I have this in my room. And whenever I sit down before I fall asleep, I just look at Jesus. And I just picture him staring at me. And then just this huge smile. Just, oh, I love you. And that's transformative. And we receive that. When you receive that look, you want to take down all the mirrors. You don't want Instagram. You don't want the standards from your parents. You don't want the standards of yourself being these mirrors. You just, so much better to receive all your value and worth from the Holy Family. So that's the invitation for each one of us today. Holy Family's knocking on the door. Hey, want to live with us? Want to do life with us? For me, sign me up. I want that. And I know that you do as well. So just invite the Holy Family into your life. Whenever you pray, just look at them delighting in you. And when you can receive that goodness and value and worth from them, you can go out and share that gift with others.